Hello, this is Mr. Price here, and this is your video on the Unit 7 PLT 1 on multiplication of decimals. I expect this to be a fairly long video, so make sure you're only watching the ones that you need to see and skip through the bits that you've already done. Okay, now hopefully you've read through this example and you've been able to follow it, and there shouldn't be any problems with any of these. However, if you do need some help, then you can just look at each individual question as you need them. Let's go straight in. So, observe how I set these questions out as well. So I want to do 21.3 multiplied by 4. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 21.3 by 10, so I get a whole number, 213 times 4. Okay, so I'm going to do this sum now. So 213 multiplied by 4. So using multiplication, 4 times 3 is 12, 2 carry the 1, 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 1 is 5, and 4 times the 2 is 8. So 213 times 4 is 852. Now, my question is 10 times too big, so my answer will be 10 times too big. So I'm going to divide by 10 to get the answer 852. Sorry, 85.2. Okay. Alternatively, you can use estimation. So 21.3 is roughly 20. 20 times 4 is roughly 80. So therefore it has to be 85.2, so it's near 80. Okay, question 2. 3.74 multiplied by 5. So I'm going to multiply 3.74 by 100. So I get 374 times 5. Okay, so I'm going to do a sum there to help me. So 374 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 7 5s are 35. Plus the 2, 37. And then 5 times 3 is 15. Plus the 3, 18. So 374 times 5 is 1,870. But my answer is 100 times too big, so I'm going to divide my answer by 100, and I end up with 18.7, or 3 times 5 is roughly 15, so that's near 18.7. Okay, question 3. 2.65 multiplied by 0.4. Ah, perfect. Just stuff on the table, that's fine, thank you. Thank you. I've got 2.65 multiplied by 0.4, so I am going to multiply this by 100, so I get 265, but I'm also going to multiply this by 10, so I get 4. So now I'm going to do 265 multiplied by 4. So 5 4s are 20, 6 4s are 24 plus the 2, 26, and then 4 times 2 is 8 plus the 2, 10. So 264 times 4 is 1060. So my answer was 100 times bigger and 10 times bigger, so it's the same as 1,000 times bigger. So I want to divide my answer by 1,000. And I get 1.06. Okay. If you're having trouble with the multiplying, dividing by 10 and 100, then just make sure that you're going back through the videos on multiplying, dividing by 10 last term. Okay, question 4. 33.21 multiplied by 0.3. So I'm going to multiply that by 100 and multiply this by 10. So I get 3,321 multiplied by 3. So I'm going to do that sum here. 3,321 times 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 3s are 9, 3 3s are 9. So that gives me an answer of 9,963. But I want to divide my answer back by 1,000, or 100 then 10. So by 10 then 100, I get 9.963. Okay, question 5. 0.341 times by 0.8. So I want to multiply this by 1,000 to get 341 times by, and I also multiply that by 10 to get 8. So on the side here, 341 times by 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 1 times 4 is a 24. 8 threes are 26. 8 threes are 24. Plus the 2 is 26. So I get 2,648. So I now want to divide my answer by 1,010, or the same as 10,000. So dividing by 10,000, that'll go 1, 2, 3. That's 1,000. Another 10, so that's going to be 0.2648. Okay, question 6. 0.872 times by 0.7. So I'm going to multiply this by 1,000 and that by 10. So I've got 872 times by 7. On the side here, 872 times by 7. So 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1. 7 times 7 is 49, plus the 1, 50. And 7 eighths are 56, plus the 5, so that is 61. So 6,104, but I now want to divide my answer by 10,000, or by 1,010. So dividing by 1,000, I get 6.104. Divide by another 10, I get 0.6104. Okay, question 7. I've got 0.572 times by 0.8 multiplied by 1,000 multiplied by 10, 572 multiplied by 8. Let's do that question on the side here. Eight twos are 16. 8 twos are 16 plus the 1, 17. And 8 fives are 40 plus the 1, 41. So 4,176. But now, not forgetting to divide my answer by 10,000. So dividing by 1,000 gives me 4.176. Divide by another 10, 0.4176. Okay, and final question for section 1, part 8. I have 0.3477 multiplied by 0.7. Here we go, what do you want? 3477 multiplied by 0.7. So I'm going to multiply this one by 10, 100,000, 10,000. I want to multiply that one by 10. So I've got 3,477 times by 7. Let's do the sum here. So 7 sevens are 49. 7 sevens are 49 plus the 4, 53. 7 fours are 28 plus the 5, 33. And 7 twos are 21 plus the 3, 24. So 24,339. But now we need to divide our answer back by 100,000. So dividing by 10,000. So 10 100,000, 10,000, then another 10, so we get 0.24339. And that is section 1 finished. Let's take a look at section 2. Okay, so these ones are the same, but this time we've got some long multiplication involved. So we've got 3.41 times by 1.4. So I'm going to multiply this one by 100 and multiply this by 10. So I have 341 times 14. Let's do some long multiplication here. So 4 times 1 is 4, 4 4s are 16, carry the 1, 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1, 13. Now I'm multiplying by 10, so I put my placeholder 0 in, and I've got 1, 4, 3. Now I add, so 4 add 0 is 4, 6 add 1 is 7, 4 add 3, 7, and 3 add 1, 4. So that's 4,774. But now I just need to divide by 110, or divide by 1,000, and I get divided by 10, 100,000, 4.774. Question 2. 7.21 multiplied by 0.35. So I multiply by 100, and multiply by 10. 100 multiplication on the side here, 721 times 35. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 2s are 10, 7 5s are 35 plus the 1, 36. Now I'm multiplying by 30, so placeholder 0. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 7 3s are 21. And now add, 5 add 0 is 5, 0 add 3 is 3, 6 add 6 is 12, carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, carry the 1, 5, and 2. So I've got 25,235. But now I need to remember to divide by 100 twice, or 10,000. So divided by 10, 100,000, 10,000, that's 2.5235. Okay, and final question, which I'll do on a new page. Question 3. 0.2134 multiplied by 0.045. So divide by multiply by 10, 100,000, 10,000, and multiply by 10, 100,000. So I've got 2,134. Times by 45. Let's do that sum on the side here. Five times 4 is 20. 5 times 3 is 15, plus the 2, 17. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1, 6. 5 times 2 is 10. Placeholder 0, because I'm now multiplying by 40. 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 3 is 12 plus the 1, 13, 4 times 1 is 4 plus the 1, 5, 4 times 2, 8, and now add 0, so 13, 10, 5, 6, and 9, so that's 96,030. So now I just need to divide by 10,000 and then 1,000. So that's the same as dividing by a million. So divided by 10, 100,000. So 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million. So that's going to be 0.09603. Okay, that was quite challenging there, so well done if you did those. Okay, finally, section 3. Okay, so we have a rectangle with an area of 0.6 centimeters squared. Okay, and I want to know what the possible dimensions are. Okay, so let's first get the factors of 6. Okay, so that can either be 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. So one possible result to get 0.6 is to divide one of these numbers in the factor pairs by 10. So I could have 0.1 times 6, or I could have 1 times 0.6, or I could have 0.2 times 3, or I could have 2 times 0.3. So effectively I've used these 4 numbers and made sure one of them was divided by 10. Okay. Now alternatively, this could have been 0.60 as well. Okay, so effectively, if I can get factors of 60 and get numbers that multiply to give 60 and divide them by 100, then I can also get 0.6. So if I get numbers that multiply to give 60 and then divide this by 100, then I'll get also 0.6. So my factors of 60 are 1 and 60, 2 and 30, or 3 and 20, or 4 and 15, or 5 and 12, or 6 and 10, and that's all of them. So let's start off with the first factor pair, 1 and 60. So this could be 0.01 times 6, or it could be 0.1 times 60, beg your pardon. Or this could be 0.06 times by 10. Okay. Or we could have 0.02 times 30. Or the other way around. So 20 times 0.03. Okay. Or I can have 0.04 times 15. Or 40 times 0.15. Or I can have 0.05 times 12. Or I can have 50 times 1.2. And I can even have, this will be one more because he's starting to get the idea now. Or we can have 0.06 times 10. Or the other way around, 60 times 0.01. Sorry, times 0.1 even. Okay, I hope you get the idea with some of those. Well done if you tried all of those questions. That was a fairly long homework, and as always, see me in class if you need any help.